Hello, good morning. So now have another training on how to create a calendar uh, for our account managers. So to start with, make sure you are currently logged in into the sub account of your choosing. Second is you have um, the account managers added into that sub account as a staff or as a user. And also make sure that they have integrated their Zoom accounts into GoHighLevel, as this training only covers how to create a calendar um, for each user that we have. So first is go into calendars. You can also go into settings, but this is the faster option. So go into calendars, select calendar settings, and here it will display all the calendars that you have. So currently we do have quite a few of them already created. So let's go ahead and start one. So you would go ahead and create a or select create a calendar. Since this is for individual user, we're gonna select personal booking. Now this is the basic calendar setup. We're gonna go over the advanced calendar setup afterwards. So first is we're gonna add our calendar name. So book a call with, and then you add the account manager's name. I believe that's how you spell the last name, but let me confirm. Yep, sorry, the last name. You can add a description here and select team member. So we're gonna select done because this is gonna be for his calendar. Call with Dan. Meeting with Dan or meet with Dan. Meet Dan. Talk to Dan. Uh, Schedule with Dan. Okay, so that's gonna be a URL. Meeting duration, let's say we're just going to do 30 minutes. They can always adjust it afterwards. Meeting availability or booking availability is going to be set to Monday to Friday. Then again, users or staff can actually adjust their availability under the user profile, which is going to be covered on a different training. But this is going to be our standard. And we're going to change it to 9. Actually, let's just make it 10. 10 to 4. Reason by 10 is normally guys have a meeting in the mornings with the company. So you will have plenty of time to handle meetings and your daily tasks in the morning. And then from 10 a.m., last meeting is 4 p.m. because you don't want to extend after 5 out or 5 p.m. So your last available schedule is 4 p.m. Now, if you want to accept payments for meetings, let's say, for example, you're charging those kind of things, then you can enable this, but this is going to be your standard setup. And if you want to go through further settings, let's go ahead and do advanced settings. But if you're good with the standard information, you can just go ahead and click confirm. But on this instance, for the first one, let's just go with the advanced settings. Now, if you have a company logo, you can easily add that too. So let me go ahead and get a company logo here. And let's go and upload. Ideally, it would be square, but for this instance, I don't have a square. So um, let's just use this one for the time being. Again, you also have for the meeting details, you have your standard calendar name, description, group URL, meeting invite title. You can adjust this, for example, meeting with contact name. This is going to be the name of the user or the person that actually is booking an appointment with you. Next part is going to be the team member. So we have done. Meeting location, we're going to set to Zoom. Sadly, it seems that Dan has not integrated his Zoom yet. So let's go ahead and grab one more as an example. Oh, this is individual, so I couldn't grab one more. So let's just use me as an example on this one. So just I can show you that you can set Zoom. I actually don't have. to create it as well. So let's just go back to that. Zoom is going to be the meeting location. If you click save, it will proceed with the next step, which is your availability. Again, you can customize your availability on a daily basis. For example, if you want Mondays to be from 10 to 4, and then Friday, Thursday, since that's going to be reporting day, you just want from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. is your availability. You can do that um, to make it easier for you to manage your calendar schedule. Next would be look busy. You can leave as is. Now, if this is going to be client weekly calls, you can do it by recurring format, meaning once they book a call, it's going to be the same schedule moving forward. But if it's just a one-time meeting, then you just leave this as is. Meeting interval is going to be the space between every meeting that you have. Duration is the length of the meeting that you have. You can always extend. It's not a requirement. That's just for scheduling notice. Now, here is minimum scheduling notice, meaning how far can a person schedule a call with you? Let's say, for example, today is Monday, and you want at least one buffer day. So meaning they could not schedule a call with you on Tuesday, but it's study on Wednesday. So this is going to be your scheduling notice. Date range, this is going to be the available range on the calendar that they can schedule a call with you. Standard use cases is 3 to 5 days. So let's just do 5 days. Minimum bookings per day, how many calls you want per day. Normally, I leave it as is. Since let's say if you manage 4 or 5 clients, you can just leave it as is. But if you are a sales representative that you are expecting to have an influx of calls, and then you don't want to talk to more than 10 people in a day, you can do 10. But in this instance, we can leave it as is. The rest they can leave as is. Next part is going to be the forms and payment. Now, on the forms and payment, if you have a custom form or set of questions that you would like to use, you can update or click on this and select the form that you created. You will see here all the forms that you have if um, you wanted to ask further questions. The standard or default form for the calendar is just the first name, last name, email, phone, and notes. That's it. Um, but on other cases, you can have custom questions that you can add to it. You can also pre-populate the fields. That way the leads or your retainer does not have to fill it out every time. Consent box, this is a standard. Don't forget about this. Consent box allows you to send out communication to users and makes you in line with the policies. For example, the SMS policies in the US, make sure to have this. Now, let's say, for example, if you are expecting to talk to your client and with their partners or employees at the same time, you can enable this option to add guests and that they can register the name and email. Or if you want, they can just let you know on how many people, just the count only. They say, hi, I have 5 more people joining the call. Or if you want to have their name and email. On some instances, you can just disable this. If you don't want them to fill out, they can just join in from, or the client can just join in and provide the link to the meeting to their staff or partners. Now, if you have a landing page or if you're connecting this or embedding this on landing page, you can opt for the feature redirect to URL on the confirmation page. This is the thank you page on starter cases. If you check the talktoaninja.com, after they book an appointment, they are redirected to a custom landing page. We're using this feature called redirect URL. But if you're just sending them a calendar link, then the default thank you message is ideal. Then if you're good, just click save. The next part is going to be notifications. Now, first is acknowledgement email. This should be sent to the contact, the assigned user. And if you have any additional emails, let's say, for example, you want to CC Jorge, you can just add or enable this. Also, always enable allow Google or Outlook calendar to send an invitation. That way it syncs into their personal calendars. This, if you're a sales rep or if you have multiple leads, you can enable this, but normally I just leave it as is. Cancellation, I normally just leave it as is because it's client normally has some unexpected things, and I allow cancellation at any time. So if you're good, just save. Also, this is not a requirement, so you can just skip and save. Last part is the customizations. Now, calendars normally has a cover image. Let's say, for example, you wanted to showcase a picture of you and your team, or any cover image that you want, you can easily add this. If not, then leave it as is. I always like the classic, but some users or people like the neo option. Depends on what you, it's just the formatting of the calendar. And if you're good, you can preview the widget before saving it here. Now, if you look at, this is the neo format. If you look at the logo is not good. So let's go back here and change the logo to square because I now have a square. And again, save. Once that's saved, we can go to customizations and again, save. And we now have created a calendar for done. Now, if you need the permalink, meaning the link that you can share to people, click the three dots, share, and this is going to be your scheduling link or permanent link. This one, you can share this to anyone. Once they click on that link, they are going to be redirected to this landing page or page where that they can book a call, hours. This is the title that we added, the description that we added. If you are going to embed on a website, you can use this. If, let's say, for example, if it's a sales call or a one-time scheduling option, you can opt for a one-time link. This link will only work once and will not be working again in the future. So I would always recommend to schedule link. Permalink is your go-to link that you can send to the retainer clients and use that moving forward. And that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions.